Hi guys. As you can hear, I'm still sick, and I've been writing. I've been working on a fantasy novel and a historical fiction novel for ages. I've been going back to the characters because I seem to be terrible at plotting. I don't know what should happen. I get ideas in almost like little movie clips. I should have a story where that happens. And then I have to figure out how to make that happen. Who are those people? And what are they doing? What's happening here? And where does this fall in the story arc? And I don't know. Plotting is difficult for me. But one of the things that I've learned is that plot needs to come from the characters. What the characters do needs to be internally motivated. It needs to be because this is who they are, and this is what they would do in that situation. So I've gone back to the characters, and that has been really helpful. I did this with the historical novel, and that really helped me understand what characters would do, how they would maybe create some of their problems, and how they would try to solve some others of their problems, and what they would do when they get in each other's way. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about how I did that. These are not my original ideas. I got this from the Office of Letters and Light, who runs NaNoWriMo and the Young Writers Program. Has this great, in the Young Writers Program resources, has this great casting your characters. Read that. It's a questionnaire, so it has been really helpful. And I made this notebook. This is for the historical one. It's blue because it deals with the Royal Navy. This is entirely character files. And so in here, I have a tab for each of the major characters. There are about at least six that I needed to know their motivations because they would affect the plot. So here's my main character. And so I would pick, if I was watching a movie or a show and I saw somebody who I thought, oh, that looks like that could be that character. And it helps me if I can see more clearly, so the picture is helpful for me. Put her name, her birth date and place, where does she live, socioeconomic status, and overarching desire. For my main character, it's unknown. I don't know what she wants. Not yet. Sometimes some of these questions I answer myself as the author. Sometimes I answer the questions in an interview format, like I'm asking her the questions, and I write down her answers. I made little or no effort to make her speak in 18th century language, because for this purpose I wanted to get to know her as well and as quickly as possible. I don't want to be bogged down in details of how she would phrase things right now, because she's from another time and another place. I just want to get to know her just like we're sitting like this. Physical attributes, unique physical attributes, defining gestures and movements, their body language that they use, speaking style, what is her voice like, how does she speak, and family, and the temperament and negative traits. There are online tests where you can take a Myers-Briggs personality type indicator test. There's also this book, The Writer's Guide to Character Traits by Linda Edelstein. She's a psychologist, and this book is really helpful. She goes through adult personality types with internal characteristics, interpersonal characteristics, how they relate to other people, and then traits on a continuum from normal to extreme. So this is how they are normally, but in the extreme they can get this way. So you know what's possible. Lots of different types, and so I go through all of those types because many people are more than one type. And I want to make sure that the person that I make is consistent and realistic. I don't want to put together a whole bunch of traits and points of view that you would never find together in a real person. It also has stuff about psychological disorders, different types of criminals, like what their motivations and goals are, what they're out to get. So that's really handy. I really like that. There's another one So I go through those as well, and I put that in. The Brain Chemistry Diet by Michael Lesser, who's a doctor. This also goes through typology, where you take a quiz and you find out what types you are, and it has this circle of different types, 6 different types, and again, many people are combinations of 2 or more. It also talks about that personality type balanced, with balanced brain chemistry, they're healthy, nothing's going wrong, this is just who they are, and in trouble, which is if their brain chemistry gets out of whack, if they're under stress or they're malnourished or things like that. And one type in trouble will look totally different than another type in trouble. And so that's really helpful because, of course, many of our characters are in trouble. So I go through all three of those resources with each of the characters, because I wanted to cross-check them and make sure that how I'm answering the questions for this person on this one test, the results will match up with how I answered these other questions on this other test. And so that's useful for me, because I want to feel like I'm doing it right, like I'm doing justice to these people, and I'm making them real, consistent people. I want to feel like I really understand them, and I'm not going to try to make them do something that they wouldn't do just for the sake of the plot. The plot needs to come from them. I hope you enjoyed my rambling, even with my gravelly voice. And I will talk to you later.